thought that he moved it. I said no, he was making an inference. He wanted to move it. He gave him a notification. After that, he formally moved the motion. Any more on page 6? Page 7. Yes, Wool East. Page 7.
Yes, my memory was that the two reports were introduced at the same time, but when it comes to the questions were put to us individually for adoption. We did not adopt the two reports together. We adopt them singly. That's what I could remember. Yes, page 7 and 8. Huh?
It looked like Honorable Member for Woolly S. If I faintly remember, I think when I was putting the question, I put them together. Yes, Honorable Member for Nyanija.
Yeah, the issue is when the proposal came from the member for Upper Salon, we debated the report jointly. But when the adoption came, you put a question for each of the reports. We adopted it.
I think the clerk is a year question. The clerk is confirming the.
Pardon? What is bad in it? Issue, I was not going to move them together. If you had issues, what prevents us from doing it that way? No, you must base it on order. Members. Members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Thursday, 13th March 2025 be approved with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Let me thank all of you, honorable members. Honorable members, I must apologize. I came to realize that we have the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources here with us. Let me acknowledge her presence and thank her for being here. Honorable Minister, sincerely apologize for not recognizing your presence. I never cited you at the time.
Orders 47, 48, and 100, oral ministerial's reply. Minister's reply to the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Environment and Sustainable Development and NGO Affairs oversight visit to forest parks and borehole projects across the country, February 2024, by the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Honorable members, after the adoption of the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Environment and Sustainable Development and NGO Affairs oversight visit to forest parks and borehole projects across the country, February 2024 of the previous session, the report was submitted to government, in particular to the Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources for consideration and reply as per Order 100 of the Standing Orders of the National Assembly. Accordingly, the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources is scheduled today for reply to the report. May I now invite the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources to take the podium and make her statement. Honorable Minister.
Good morning. Recommendations requiring our actions. 1. That there should be strong emphasis on community and joint participatory forest management. Private individuals should also be strongly encouraged to invest in private forestry. Ministers respond. The Minister is keenly promoting the Community Forest Initiative with 29 newly established community forests to be handed over this year before the end of June 2025, adding to the already established community forests. And 2, that the University of the Gambia should introduce courses at undergraduate and graduate level on forestry management, parks and wildlife management, and natural resource management to build the capacity of foresters. EBA project, the Ministry is collaborating with the University of the Gambia to develop courses at both bachelor's and master's. Example, the degree of BSc Natural Resource Management includes courses in the following vegetation of West Africa, forest ecology, soil science, aquatic system, land measurement, that's the GPS, wildlife habitat, forest health, beekeeping and apiary management, outdoor recreation and tourism, environmental biochemistry, biogeochemistry, ethics of conservation and sustainability, forest resource management, integrated botany, geology, wood anatomy and properties, and forest genetics and genomics. The third recommendation said that an environment and social impact assessment must be conducted prior to the issuance of license to hunting as a game sites. The National Environment Agency will be engaged to ensure ESIAs, that's environment to hunting lodges. 4, that adequate resources must be mobilized to provide resources to forestry and parks and wildlife management. Such equipment must include surveillance, drones, protective gears, and mobility. The Ministry will continue working on securing funding to the best of its ability to continuously provide modern equipment to its staff in the field. 5, that wild and large animals such as lions, giraffes, elephants, etc. should be purchased for the Department of Parks and Wildlife. This shall generate substantial revenue to the sector. The ministry response is, the reintroduction of wildlife requires extensive investment and expertise. Hence, the ministry is looking at investors with the necessary capital to partner with. The decision has been taken to tender the offer of a concession to investors willing to rewild some of our national parks, including Kiang West and the Abuko. 6, that instead of giving forest areas for rice or other agricultural production, eroded land should be revitalized for agricultural use. The ministry has not given out any forest area for rice or other agricultural production. However, we would explore ways of collaborating with other stakeholders, including the municipalizing degraded lands for agricultural resources, should partner with the Ministry of Interior and Defense to adequately police the forests. In July 2024, Forestry, to the position of Director, Department of Forestry. He will be supported initially by a complement of 1 officer and 11 other ranks. To see more discipline within of fiscal plan, inclusion of the Party 23, initial assessment reserve. On the 30th December 2024, a stakeholder meeting was held in the conference room of the Ministry of Environment to kickstart discussion on finding a lasting solution to the illegal encroachment at the Abuko Nature Reserve. Present at the meeting was the following: my humble self, the Minister of Environment, Honorable Lamin Sise, National Assembly Member of the Select Committee, Lamin Toure, Chief of the Busumbala, Honorable Sekuba, National Assembly Member of the Select Committee, Honorable Amadou Kamara, National Assembly Member of the Select Committee, Honorable Famara Sabali, National Assembly Member of the Select Committee, Mamadou Biba, President of the Gambia Environment Alliance, Mohamed Haidara, Secretary General Gambia Climate Environment Alliance, Honorable Yaya Sanyang, National Assembly to the constituency that is having to the Abuko area, Lamin Dau, Councillor of the Abuko, Amadou Sonko, Parks Ranger, Department of Parks and Wildlife, Mood Lamin Gassama, the Director of Department of Parks and Wildlife Management, Lamin Sise, the Alcalo, Dr. Dawda Baji, Executive Director of the NEA, Honorable Bangali Jalo, National Assembly Member, Baba Galle Jalo, National Assembly Member, I guess also the Environment Committee. Oh, okay, Deputy Governor, sorry. Yeah, National Assembly, okay, the document mentioned National Assembly because of Honorable Member. Okay, Baba Galle, that's the Deputy Governor, West Coast Region, Department of Forestry. Following the meeting, a multi-sectoral committee was set that has visited the park, met communities in settlement area surrounding it, and it's expected to come. This question should be directed to the Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Water Resources, under whose purview this mandate is. 10, that further global targets. 11, and last but not the least, that all boreholes must be situated in locations that are not posing any health risk.
And I quote, a period of questions on the statement. The Speaker to ask questions relating to the Minister's statement now.
So my question would be, how do you correlate the militarization of the forestry department to the department's quest of A, community forestry, and B, joint forest park management? Thank you.
Years that I've been a minister, knowing fully well that at that time, but notwithstanding, in my entire tenure as a minister, not even a single moment I have received any advice to guide us to how best we can cope the challenges confronted, as to what we can do better to enhance the sustainable and also the adequate managing of the encroachment that we are encountering as a chronic problem. Again, we have been confronted with huge amount of insecurity that we suspect or we think can escalate to a general national social security. But again, it's not about qualifications. That is very relevant. But as far as I'm concerned, and I want to believe all of you will agree, qualifications plus the willingness to serve and the competence to deliver results is what we desire. The current Army officer, as we have done our research intensively, as mentioned in my question and in the response I made, we did a concept to guide our action on this decision. And the concept looked around our surroundings, and of course, first looking at the legal implications, but also with reference to the matters of the Forest Act 2018. After due diligence, we have been advised. That is what also motivated our action to finalize the appointment of a forest officer. But again, the key that has motivated the ministry is to induce ethical behavior within the sector, but more so to also stabilize the security of our forest product and the boundaries of the encroachment that we are encountering. But again, this Army officer is trainable and is ready to be trained, and we have already plans to train him. Plus the training, we are hopeful that, and the discipline as a trained Army officer who are more aligned to obeying and accountability, and also putting in command system that will support attitudinal change for the establishment of a very responsive behavior within the sector, officers, community members, local authorities, and all of us concerned, to make sure that we are able to get the desired results in maintaining our forest cover, but also coping matters of climate change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now invite the Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister. I am disappointed. I am shocked. You mentioning that since you came to that office, you never had any proposal, any support. So that tells us that your ministry and those institutions under you should be shut down. That's what you are telling us. And by the way, background checkup on Salif that has been appointed, a military man with a military background, and these areas are areas that we want to ensure that the forest cover is protected. You said background education is key. We need to know Salif, what is his background. We need to know whether he was an agriculturist, whether he worked with forestry. That background is needed. We cannot just go and bring somebody because of his military background. You think that he can discipline the forest? No.
Point of order. Exactly. So,
The speaker? Are you the speaker? Let the speaker come, please.
I was just observing the comments. I think we should all learn from these things now. We should all learn so that we try to go by our own standing orders. Anybody who is talking and people interject, you don't like it. but the same people would interject when others are talking. So I was enjoying the option going, are you the speaker? No. Are you that? Somebody is interjecting. You know, I was enjoying it. I wish we can do it. Honorable Minister, you can proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
He asked the question in his statement.
Yes.
Yes, he asked it. He's talking about the background.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And thank you, Honorable Member. But I'm also equally disappointed for the simple fact that time without numbers, you have sent me complaints, number of complaints about the ethics of our forest officers. Several times you have sent me reports that our forest officer is implicated in felling of number of trees within your jurisdictions. I have it in my.
Honorable member, please. Honorable members, you see, honorable, this is what I told you. When somebody is responding, please, when you were talking, she kept quiet. With all what you said, you cannot get the patience to listen to her. Please. Honorable Speaker, please, go ahead.
Thank you.
Honorable
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have our conversations, we are on records, but again, that's not very important. What is relevant here is qualification is important, but results is what we want. As far as I'm concerned, if you are qualified and you can produce results, that is what we want. But if you are not qualified and you can produce results, I will take you. But if you join the two, you are qualified and you can produce results, I'll go for that one. Because now I'm killing two birds with one stone. But in this case, we have seen, I've told you, I have no records in my system that I am the one as a minister. I receive complaints from some of you, including yourself. I'll forward it to the Forestry Department and I will receive a backup justification that nothing is normal and not a recommendation as to how to solve the problem. I will be the one with my office to jump in the field to look at and then how to recover it. This is not how we can work as a ministry. Every portfolio is assigned a responsibility. For the Lieutenant Colonel SAR's background, I want to inform you that due diligence checks has been done and he has been appointed by the PSC, meaning that the PSC, who is the reputable institution to appoint the caliber based on the required of the position, must have done their due diligence to advise the ministry accordingly. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Same.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. I just go straight, Honorable Speaker. I just want to look at the issue of lancing to these hunters. Honorable Minister, this community, Yona, the community have been complaining a lot. These hunters comes up to their backyard. My question is, what is the recommended distance that these hunters should start firing?
Thank you, Honorable Member. We have discussed this casually, but to also let you know that we are also equally concerned in as much as it's an activity that will bring resources to the government, but the safety and security of our community needs to be also ensured. But I did tell you, we have officers at that level. So this is here we also come. We expect them to look at the license and regulate them. But after Ramadan, we will have a joint team. We will report to the National Environment Agency, as mentioned in my statement, to look at how best we can redo the ESIAs. If we have to adjust some of the, because the new NEMA is still on the way to the National Assembly, we can incorporate disciplinary measures to make sure that at least we are able to correct these measures as we move on. But we are also equally concerned and we will look into it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Now, I now invite the Honorable Member for Jimara.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. This is just a short one. On recommendation 8, the list of attendance that attended the meeting at the Ministry of Environment. I see an omission there. That is myself. I was part of the members that were present, but my name is not captured. So I just want that to be updated. Thank you.
Minister, yes?
Thank you. I think that's an oversight. You are even the chair to the National Assembly member that attended. So I think that's a serious oversight. My permanent secretary is here. We will make sure that it's included and adjusted. If not in the report, it is adjusted there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Recommendation 7, the Lieutenant Colonel that you have said, Salif Sajo. Salif Kaur. Yes, sorry. Honorable Minister, in the recommendation 7, that you have said the Lieutenant Colonel Salif Kaur, as you have said, the due diligence was followed in his appointment. I am putting it to you, and the videos are available, the records are available in the impasse. This was a soldier who ran to Senegal, had an interview in Senegalese TV, said he is not a Gambian. And as per your act, how does it insinuate an officer who had spoke clearly that he is not a Gambian, but enlisted in the army, came back and be within the force? He is also picked and selected to be a director of forestry. What is your act saying in terms of his employment?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. This is very simple. I know I don't want to even go far on this. It could have been a security tactic if it is true, because I have no clue about the audio. But that could have been a security tactic to disguise yourself as not being a Gambian. It could. That's my position. But on the other hand, as I responded to one of the questions, the PSC is the duly assigned and authorized body to appoint. And I have no doubt they must have done their due diligence check to get us this lieutenant appointed. So if he's not a Gambian, that's not my position to ascertain or to refute, but it's for the PSC to now clarify. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kiang West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Minister, for your response to the concerns raised by the committee, and of course, the encroachment issue in Abuko and other protected areas are definitely alarming, and we need to definitely make a stop to that. We have seen, we went to Abuko, more than 9 football fields. In fact, it's more than that. When we confirmed by foot, we walked the entire park. So, however, I want us to look at what would be the impact, the negative impact of an appointment on the motivation of staff under the Department of Forestry, particularly regarding staffs that have been trained, who rose through various ranks, and has served in the Department of Forestry for ages. And now you bring an army officer just for protection as the director of the department, when the forest management encompasses so many issues, which is far beyond protecting the forest parks. What would be the negative impact on the results and the motivation of those staffs who you have trained. The department has in fact trained. Send them out, and they rose through ranks, and they are to appoint today, but just to bring an army officer to serve as a director.
Honorable members, Honorable Minister, please. Honorable members, you make your question very clear. No need for repeating the same thing 2, 3, 4 times. Make your question to the point and ask the Honorable Minister. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for the concern at the Abuko Nature Reserve, and thank you for participating in the committee to arrive at a sustainable solution as soon as possible. On the motivation of the officers at the Forest Department as a result of the appointment of the new director, I'm not calling it an army officer, but a new director. There is no change without a reciprocal defense. As a middle experienced administrator, we look forward to resistance in terms of in the appointment of this officer. But as I said, at the level of the ministry, with the different expertise in other ministries, we had looked into this matter critically and backed by concrete evidence as to the actual sustainability and also the results desired why we appointed this army officer. I know we will have resistance, but we'll manage it. There is nowhere that when you are appointed, it's a must that you will be promoted to a director as a matter of must. Of course, people expect to rise to the ladder, but that is when we decide results. For me, as I mentioned, getting the results is what is my key motivation here. Even if there was a junior officer that I can take and give me the results, I would have done that. But as I said, I was not motivated to do that. I am motivated looking at the sub-region and also the alarming challenge that we have been having within the department. We arrived that the best is to hand over to an army officer. And believe me, there is even a decision to end the entire department to go to the defense ministry. And that is within the limits of the law, which if things goes bad, we can even resort to that. So definitely for me, resource is what I want. We want our forests to be protected. We want the encouragement to be protected. We want our trees to be protected. And whoever is going to be the one to produce that results, I'll go in for that. Thank you.
Thank you. I now invite the Honorable Member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that response. Honorable Minister, you did make mention of 29 newly established community forests. I'm putting a request for you to furnish us with the list of those 29 new. And also, with the appointment of this Officer Corps, in your statement you did make mention of he is trainable. He is trainable. And we have people who are trained and have the capacity to do the job. Why not will your office, your ministry, advise the PSC that you need people with capacity, that the state is not going to put additional resources on them to do the job than to employ someone that you are going to train with the results of the government. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for the question. On the 29 forests that are already gazetted and then on the list for the handing over to be done soon, they were even published on the Gazette, if you can also consult there. Otherwise, we are more than happy to provide that immediately. The Permanent Secretary is here. You'll be given the list of those 29 as quickly as possible, even on a personal note. On the forest officers or the Director of Forest still coming up, I'm happy to engage with you on this. You have mentioned that we have people that have the capacity, but they were not given the results. They are there. That's what I said. They have the capacity, they are employed, they are there, but we are not getting the results. So the unique capacity that or qualification that they don't have is the skill of an army officer who is mentally oriented to results, who is mentally trained to security personnel, and then the provision of accountability and respond to duty. That's a unique skills that the army officer has. That one we cannot train the rest of the forest officers on. But for the skills subsequently, these are things that even if you read, you should be able to master it. I did my master's under 8 months. And here I am with my qualification. So if you are ready to read, even online, you can train yourself. But for the skills of a security personnel, trainable to an army officer, is unique to a sector. Unless the security of the army, the forest officers are trained to that nature, so that they will change their thinking and adapt. That's the unique thing that we are looking for in the army officer. We need results in terms of managing and adequately responding to the needs of these encroachments and then delivering results, which we are not getting.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Who is asking to a point of order? Huh? Majority.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Order 48, sub 6, it said after a statement has been delivered in the Assembly, a period of questions on the statement to be asked. After the Minister has delivered an oral statement from a Minister, 48 sub clause 1, S6, clause 48, oral ministerial statement, and you look at sub clause 6, after a statement has been delivered in the Assembly, a period of questions on the statement, which means once the Minister has delivered a statement, you would now grant leave for Parliament to ask questions now. But then those questions cannot really now go into interfering in purely administrative matters. If you now ask him that some people are there who are more qualified, that should be there, you are now involving in more administrative issues. And of course, and Parliament cannot be seen. You can ask the man's qualification, but to deduce that there are some people who are there who are more qualified and this is inappropriate. Of course. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What we are saying, it has to be a question, not to ask the Minister.
Honorable members, I think the relevant clause quoted by the majority leader is the clause I quoted when I was giving that members have a right to ask questions to the Honorable Minister based on the responses she has given. And if you look at her response, she talked about the appointment of an army officer to the position of director and gave her reasons. Now, honorable members' questions will have to touch on those issues that she has answered. Now, and I think she also reserves the right to answer those questions to the best of her ability. So I think it's fair enough that the questions are coming and that she is answering them. Honorable Bikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you did mention about staffs that are highly qualified and trained, but they are not producing the results. I only want to inquire, how are you sure Mr. Kaur will produce the desired result, knowing already that he has capacity deficiencies?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. I want to be very clear here. I'm starting at the podium and being listened by the entire public. Let it be very clear. The Department of Forestry definitely are having very good people who are ready to work. But in every setup, you have a leadership that induces performance. So what I'm saying, if I generalize my statement that I'm not receiving results, meaning collective results, but there are people, I can say majority of them, who are at the lower cadre, or even some at the senior cadre, who are doing their level best to serve this country. But their best needs collective actions. As the English says, one rotten mango spoils the entire bag. There are people, since my tenure as a minister, I have never received a single complaint of their defaults. And I want to thank them deep from my heart for being in there to serve the interests of this public. But again, we need collective efforts here, which has been lacking. If many people are doing their best, few are suppressing it, we will not see the desired result. That is why I'm saying I am not seeing the desired results. So therefore, at that leadership level, we need to induce that morality to change the ethics of how we do things, to support the few that are there and are ready to work. I know change is definitely difficult and is natural for human beings to resist, but we will manage it. We will engage them, we will be security moral. That is why we are going for this lieutenant. But again, when I say he is trainable, I think that is enough. That is enough. Because as I am telling you now, the guy has already finished understanding the Forest Act. And my first meeting with him has given me the induced spirit that I've done the right thing. And I'm ready to support the way out. Thank you.
I now invite the Honorable Member for Bundu Wakunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you for the response. Honorable Minister, I just want to ask, based on your sectoral meeting that you have on the 30th of December 2024, concerning about the encouragement of community members by having the fields within the park, because this has been going for quite some time now. So, when do you expect to have this recommendation, and what are some of the alternatives that you may have for the community as far as the football fields are concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member, and of course through the Speaker. I think the honorable members that participate or are participating in this exercise are all here to bear me witness. We have a timeline. It's just difficult to put people together who have different assignments at different levels. But work is ongoing on. They have visited Gamtel because we had several recommendations. But key is not to reserve any portion of the Abuko, but rather to look outwards to see whether we can get another land that can be distributed and used by this community. As we all agree and then discuss during the meeting that is youths or people want to have close proximity to their playgrounds, but that is not feasible in terms of planning. You'll have to be take the cost to pay fares to go and play football, but we have to plan the country to the extent that we cannot have every corner of our compounds as playgrounds. So what we resorted to doing is to maintain the Abuko nature reserve that was already affected by such kinds of decisions in the past. Quite a chunk of the park was already reserved for such kinds of situations in the past during the former government. And then we don't want to reduce it further, noting that we have other ideas to use to revive lives in the parks. So the options on the ground is to engage with Gamtel, who has a very vast land at the Abuko, And again, they also having 7 football fields that have been encroached in that land. To see how best we can put efforts together and engage them, if we can have a big call a ministerium that they can give to the young people, managed by the Department of Youth and Sports, leased under the Minister of Youth and Sports, so that nobody will come and now encroach and use it for a different purpose, as it happens in the site that was the reserve for football field in the past within the Abuko. So the committee is working very hard. They have visited the authority of NAWEC, Gamtel Rada, and I think we've received the report a few days ago. We'll look at it and then see how far they've gone. For the benefit of all of us, there is already a project available in-house. The money is in country under the National Environment Agency to fence Abuko. I mean proper solid fence. In that case, maybe we will now all go to sleep about the encroachment unless otherwise. So that's the plan on the ground to protect it at least sustainably. But before we do that, hence the young people are also part of us, and National Assembly members who are also politicians will want everybody to be happy to some extent. That's why we are doing the consultation to make sure that at least we aligned with a common ground, both from all ends. You can see the constitution of the members in this group, so that we will all arrive to a conclusive solution that will not affect us, but again, that will be able to compromise certain interests, but arrive to a sustainable solution. That's the motive. We look forward to completing this. The assignment was to be completed before March, but unfortunately, it looks like we are failing our deadline, but we are working far to get this. Hence, there's already a project that needs to be implemented very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now invite the Honorable Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for able to answering this question. On the same number 8, with regards to encouragement of the Abuko Nature Reserve, Honorable Minister, my question is, it's not about only the football field. People are encouraging and building structures. Is there any time that you're giving notice to stop work before the time of the investigation is over? Because if people are building and they're not giving notice to stop work, it might lead to something else. And number 2, also illegal dump sites within that area. What are you planning towards those illegal dump sites?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Member. For the structures that are within the premises, I am just hearing it. I'll have to engage, PS will engage the director to get this information. I know we have received information that there are people building just right on the fence, but not within. What we have within as encroachment, as far as my information is concerned, is the football field and the dump sites, which we want to create, because the dump sites, that one we don't even need to consult them. It's already illegal. Even the football field is illegal, but because it has to deal with our interest group, we have to see how best we manage them. That is just why we are taking our time to engage them. But otherwise, there is no legal boundary that stops us from getting them out immediately. But they are us, and then we need to manage them. That's the reason why we are going all this length to resolve the problem. But for the dump sites, they have no right to dump there. But maybe because they have access, that is why they are dumping. So we want to seize the access by making sure that we fence it with a sustainable fence that will deter people from accessing inside to dump there. Thank you.
I now invite the Honorable Member for Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, concerning the issuance of Lansing to hunting as a game site, after issuing license, did your department make a follow-up for them to know the species of animals they're supposed to kill? Thank you.
Thank you. That should be done. That is why what I said in one of the follow-up questions, that we expect them to monitor and regulate their activities as per the license. But if there's any elapses, we will make sure that it is being incorporated in the new NEMA, but we'll engage with National Environment Agency to make sure that within what we have now, that's the NEMA 1994, if it is there, we make sure we enforce it adequately. But we expect the Directorate of Department of Parks and Wildlife to follow up, to know that what the license states is what is being utilized within the limits of the activity. But we will take note and engage the director again to make sure that they enforce this license monitoring adequately to avoid any endangered within it. Thank you.
May I now invite the Honorable Member for Opanyumi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I'm hearing two things, like someone saying that 9 football fields are in the Abukoneke Reserve, but in the write-up is 5 football fields. So I just want you to give us the correct figures. Yeah, but like what I wanted to ask is this particular area was fenced before. What happened to the fence? What were you personally doing till they allowed these people to encourage this place? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Member. A very good question. What were we doing until they encroached into this fence? It's a difficult question rather. But on the number of football fields, let me just clarify. I mentioned when I was responding that it's on the paper I've seen 5. But as far as my record is concerned, it's 9. When we went there at the Ministerial Committee, we were informed it's 9. But Honorable Member is telling me who recently went there, maybe there's another addition, because we went there almost now coming to a year, our last visit. That was when we established the number 9. So if he is saying that it's more than 9, it could be true because they recently went there. I've not been there. On the fence, maybe I want to say, because I've seen some of the parts of the fence falling down, maintenance could be a challenge, because these were fenced some time back. Maybe they were not maintained adequately, or the community also encroached to damage it so that they can have access. It could be. But I'll have to establish as to why exactly. What were they doing? I cannot answer that for them. But I'll have to establish as to why the fence could not last this long, and why was the fence not able to protect the encroachment as it was designed. But I know the fence is not very good. Yes. And maybe also it's short. Like where we have the dump ground, the dump site, the fence is there. But they will stand and then throw the waste inside over the fence. So maybe the fence is not tall. And these are all things that we learned. Maybe the new project of fencing will now look into the height and also the solidness of the fence for durability. Thank you.
I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, can you please give us the names of 29 newly established community forests to be handed over this year?
Thank you. The same was asked by Honorable Member of Sumbala, and I said we will provide it immediately. I should have it in my phone, but I have to do research to get it. It was just approved by Cabinet not long ago, and it should have been even on the website of the Minister of Justice, because they'll have to publish it for Gazette. But again, we are happy to provide, because we are even yet to hand them over. They're still within us for us to hand over. PS will provide that to the clerk, to you through the clerk, because hence now is 2. You'll get it today. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, your response to point 5 is eye-catching. It's quite adequate because it's dealing with non-introduction of new wildlife, bigger wildlife. The biggest wildlife we have in the country now is the hippo. And yes, it's the hippo as far as I know. And the hippo is an endangered species. But you know that there is a war raging between humans and hippos in the URR. It's raging. The animals need feed, but the humans also need food. So there's this conflict between them. What plans is the Ministry of Environment having on this particular issue to ensure that the endangered species are saved, but also the food of the human beings also is protected? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. You're right, but then in this case, I would not agree in totality that the hippos are endangered species. They are dangerous to us, not to that extent, depending on how we manage them. But they have been here for quite too long, and we only hear a few incidents. And even with the crocodile, we do hear a few incidents, because they are animals that live with us. It depends how we manage. Sometimes also we encroach into their territories. That is why also they are also angry with us, and then they will attack, because they also have to eat. But I agree with you. That is why in my response I said that it requires extensive investment and expertise. For the wild animal, for example, lions, their feed alone, I think they will end up going for our cattle. So we have to calculate very well, make sure that all the technicalities are being corrected before we introduce them. The hippo, we are managing them. I've not had any critical scenario or report when it's come to their existence with us. They coexist with us. Well, coming to affect our rice, the population is increasing, that needs to be managed. But for them intruding into our rice fields, we are still having some that are farming rice and they're not having issues. It's on few bases that we have this report that they are intruding into people's rice and then eating. And this has been here for quite a long time. Now, how we change is to manage it.
Honorable.
All of us have a responsibility to play.
Honorable Minister, please don't respond to side questions. Go ahead, Honorable Minister. She's ready.
Yes, I am done.
Okay.
Thank you.
May I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyanija?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and then thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the responses that you've provided. Going through the response, and then as also been part of the committee, we made these recommendations, and then I must say that the response are definitely very adequate. But I just want to emphasize on the issue of the Abuko Nature Reserve. The problems came not today, not even during her tenure. I was in Abuko, I lived there, and there are a lot of factors that are involved. And I think involvement of parliamentarians in this task force is very, very important. And then whatever that we do, be assured as a committee, we will come back here and tell you this is what we did here. Because as a portfolio committee, we are there representing the National Assembly. So I think the issue of the nature reserve is something which we will be okay with. So, Honorable Minister, I just want to ask about the intended fencing of the Abuko Nature Reserve, that project. I know it cannot be done when we don't secure it properly. How do you think this will go? Because I was in Abuko when this project was happening there, and I consider it as a very bad project. The fence that is currently there is not a good project, honestly. So what are we going to do to make sure that that same thing don't repeat again?
Thank you. I did mention that the current situation is a lesson learned to be corrected in the subsequent intervention that we are going to do. We will look at the solidness of the fence, the height, and other factors so that we will correct them in the new project. You are right, it has been a chronic challenge. That's why we thought it wise to have at least a comprehensive stakeholder to handle this. If the ministry makes any decision that the National Assembly's portfolio didn't agree, we will still come back to the drawing board. But for efficiency and quick results, I deem it necessary to bring in all the stakeholders concerned so that we will all agree that this is what we have to do to correct it, and then we'll adopt it and then respect it once and for all. We are just waiting. That is why I'm pushing very hard. Hence, this project is there, and we cannot implement the project without resolving the encroachment. So we have to do that. My target was this March, as we agreed during our meeting. But as I said, it's difficult to bring stakeholders together if they are having different responsibilities. Like today, if you want to get you in the field, you are already sitting here. But we will, DPS Diallo is coordinating it, and his assignment is to make sure that they work as quickly as possible to get it resolved. We hope maybe in the next, after Ramadan, when the hunger has gone, we will be able to do more, and even to work during weekend to get this resolved as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. On behalf of both sides of Parliament, I want to thank you for your very informative statement and effective responses to members' questions. And to honorable members, I thank you all for your questions. We can now release the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Hey, I think you know. Honorable members, may I also acknowledge the presence of the Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. Honorable Minister, you are most welcome.
Clerk, we may proceed.
Laying of papers and reports. Preliminary report of the Joint Committee of FPAC and PEC on the parliamentary inquiry into the petroleum product of 36,953.614 metric tons, valued at $30 million by the chairperson of the committee.
Chair, clerk, what's going on? Oh, that's the co-chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we want to update the plenary about the status of the investigation. The Joint Committee was established by the plenary pursuant to Section 109, Sub 2A and B of the 1997 Constitution and Standing Orders 103 and 109. The committee was tasked with the mandate to investigate allegations of bribery and tax evasion involving Apoji FZC, Creed Energy Limited, and Ultimate Veg Logistics in connection with the sales of petroleum products amounting to 36,953.
Honorable members, please, can you maintain order?
Amounting to 36,953,614 metric ton, value at $30 million. The committee was established in pursuant to a motion tabled in the National Assembly on the 22nd July 2024 by Honorable Sene Jawara. The motion called upon the Joint Committee to conduct a comprehensive inquiry into the matter to establish factual truth and report in findings to the plenary. In executing this mandate, the Joint Committee convened its inaugural meeting on the 5th August 2024, during which it established terms of reference and identified key witnesses to be summoned. The list of witnesses include: 1. The mover of the motion, Honorable Sene Jawara; 2 representative of Opochi FZC, Crete Energy, and Ultimate Bed Logistics. 3 financial intelligence units.
Motion, Mr. Speaker.
4 the register of companies.
Honorable member, please take your seat. Who is that, please? Who? Banjul South, yes. What's the problem?
Mr. Speaker, motion 53K. Motion agreed by the Speaker to be a matter of urgency. Mr. Speaker, this statement that is being read is not on the other paper, 1. And 2, as member of the committee, we are not aware of this statement. So I think we should consider it and refer it back to the committee. Thank you.
Order, honorable members, order, please. Honorable members, order, please. Order. Honorable members, order, please. Member for Lower Salem, order, please. Honorable members, she rose to point of motion and she read 53K and went on to express her disagreement in respect of the report of motion being tabled by the co-chair. Co-chair, can you please attend? Member for Central Badibu and Baka, please. And unfortunately, she have not come up with any motion. So now we will continue. We'll allow the co-chair to continue. Please continue. Continue, Honorable Chair, Co-Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Point of order.
There is a point of order. Honorable members, I want you to maintain order, please. If you want to speak, raise your hand.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on.
Hold on. There is a point of order.
Yes.
The member for Kantora.
Point of order, standing order 99. Reports of committee 99. I rise. So, standing order 99. Report of committee shall be signed by the chairperson of the committee before it's laid here. On the other paper is report. We don't have any report from the committee that has been signed for us to debate. What is on the other paper is the report. And there is no report of the committee. We are considering a report. There is no report. According to our orders, 99, there must be a signed report. So before we accept this thing, they have to produce a signed report. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, order, please. Order, honorable members, order, please. Member for Same, take your seat. Member for Same, take your seat, please. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, there is a point of order. Deputy Majority Leader and Member for Fonye Councillor, order, please. Order, honorable members. Allow me to rule on the point of order first. And if you want to rise on, you know what to do because someone is already on the floor. So you know what to rise on. Order, please. Maintain order and decorum. Fonye Councillor, we are not in a bantaba in Councillor. Yes. Honorable member, on the point of order, rose by the majority leader and member for Kantora that all reports shall be signed by the chair. He's in order on that. But, honorable members, I am being informed that the co-chair is presenting or making a statement to that effect instead of report. Order, honorable members, please. I'm informed that He's making a statement, and let's allow him to finish his statement. And then we will continue. But, of course, there have been what is on the order paper and what is on the order paper and what is happening is a quite different thing. But we apologize, and we want Parliament to allow him to make his statement. Then I will come to you people for either point of order, observation, clarifications, or any information that you might request. Now, please allow him to make a statement, then we continue.
Honourable Speaker.
Order, please, order. Order, honourable members, order, no.
Order
no.
29.3.
No, sit down. If you are
Yes.
writing to a point of order, then sit down. Take your
Point
seat.
of order 29.3. Point of order.
Put off your mic. Put off your mic. Okay, sit down. Point of order. Okay, can we hear that from Lower Saluk?
Honourable Speaker, point of order 14.
Honourable Speaker. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. No. There is a point of order, member for Lower Saluk. Lower Saluk, can we hear a point of order, please? Member, the co-chair, can you continue? Deputy Majority Leader, take your seat. Deputy Majority Leader, take your seat. Co-chair, please continue.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker.
Member for Lower Saluk, don't disrupt this proceeding. Please, take your seat. No. You yourself, you are not right. You rose to a point of order. You don't even know. Take your seat. Take your seat. No, he doesn't know what he is talking about.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Point of
I will
order.
continue where I stopped.
Point of order.
It's a point of order from member for Kantora.
I'm rising on order 14, order of business. Order of business. Before sitting begins, a prayer shall be laid. The business of each sitting.
Honorable members, please allow him to put up his point. No, member for Banjul South, you are not the spokesperson of the member for Lower Saluk. Please.
Of course.
No, you can't be his spokesperson. No, you can't. No. Please. No, you can't. Now the majority leader and member for Kantora has a point of order.
Yes, I'm rising on order 14, subclause 2.
Leader, please take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Let me address you. Member for Banjul South, no, you are wrong. You err because you rose to a point of motion and you quoted 53K, a motion agreed to by the speaker, but you never read any motion. You went ahead to disapprove the co-chair statement. You have never put up a motion. If you want to put up a motion, no, honorable member, no, you are out of order. You are out of order. Member for Kantora and Majority Leader.
Thank you very much. Rising on order 14, order of business, subclause 2, the business of each sitting shall be transacted in the following. So, in our order paper, we have transacted, there's prayers, communication from the chair, and also reports. That's what we have in our order paper. We are not having statement by chairpersons. Unless otherwise, you will now use the power to vary. If not, we have to go by the dictate of our order paper. This is, each sitting must be transacted in this manner. And that's what we have been following. Thank you.
Order, honorable. He read 14.2, honorable members. But of course, I'm not so, I think the speaker used 14.3 to allow him to make a statement. I am so. Order, please. Order. Honorable members, I am so he will arrive at the same convergence that you anticipated. So allow him to make a statement. Your order, okay, please take your seat, Majority Leader. Order, you are right, Majority Leader. You are right. But
Point of order. Point of order.
Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Harold.
No, Harold. Let's do the right thing, bro. Let's do the right.
Speaker, point of order.
Amendment.
Point of order, please.
Speaker, can I observe, please? Can I observe?
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Honorable members, please order. Honorable members, allow me to consult my aides 1 or 2 minutes. I'll come back to you. I will. No, Member Fonyanija, please.
No, we want to help, please. Allow me, please. Allow me.
I'll come back to you people. I'll come back to you people. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, order, please. Honorable members, I want decorum, please. Member for Nyanija, member for Lower Salum, and the rest, please give me your ears, all of you. Honorable members, the majority leader and member for Kantora, of course, earlier on we had the member for Banjul South on a motion, but she never put up her motion at the end. And then we had a point of order from the member for Kantora and majority leader on order 14.2, right? Yes, earlier on also there was a motion put forward by the majority leader that all report must be signed by the chair. And there are a lot of argument and requests for the floor. I, of course, saw on the order paper, that's lane of papers and report. We have the preliminary report of the Joint Committee of FPAC and PEG on the preliminary inquiry into the petroleum product of 36,953.614 metric tons, valued at 30 million United States dollars by the co-chair of the committee. While I don't have the report at hand, but what I have here is a request for extension. And order, please, don't make a statement. What I have is a request for extension, and it reads, in the light of these circumstances, the committee respectfully seeks an extension of its mandate to ensure the thorough completion of its inquiry, including engagements with all outstanding witnesses. The committee proposes to submit its final report during the second ordinary session in June 2025. This request is made in the interest of procedural rigor, accountability, and the pursuit of a conclusive resolution to this matter of significant public importance. And it is a statement by the co-chair on the Joint Committee of FPAC and PEG regarding the preliminary inquiry into the sale of petroleum product totaling 36,953.614 metric ton, valued at 36 million United States dollars. And I consulted my aides in respect. Who is that? Who is that from the table office? Can you take your seat? I want every member or staff to take your seat. Don't disrupt this proceeding. And what we have on the order paper is report. And as the majority leader, I've been informed by my aides that it only came to their knowledge this morning that the report is not available. And I thought it could have been communicated to Assembly prior to coming, but that was not done. And if I invoke Order 14.3, it might not be in order, because we could have, order please, we could have varied it prior coming and changed the order paper from report to a statement. But as it is, it is not in the order paper for a statement. What is in the order paper is a report, and the report is not ready. In the circumstances, if the report is not ready, it cannot be tabled. So therefore, this report is not tabled, and it cannot be tabled. And unless if the committee wants something else, but that's my ruling. Thank you. Honorable members, order. Now, what I'm going to do is, as I said, there is no report before us, and that's my ruling. Yes.
Speaker. Wait.
Yes, member for Bikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to rise on a motion to move a motion for us to extend. Wait. Honorable Speaker, by looking at this thing.
Order, honorable members, member for Lower Salem, nominated member Kebalang Fopana and others, please, if you want to speak, request the floor by raise of hand. However disagreement you may or agreement with the co-chair, you have the right to raise your hand, and I'll give you the floor. Co-chair and member for Birkama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to move a motion 53K for the committee on Joint Committee of FPAC and PEG to extend its mandate to ensure a thorough completion of its inquiry, including engagement with outstanding witnesses. The committee proposes to submit the final report during the second ordinary session in June 2025. Considering that the number of witnesses that we have completed and those that are not yet ready, and that is why we are unable to table the report. So we are seeking this motion for us to extend so that second ordinary session we can table the report to the plenary.
And I will speak a point of order, please.
Yes, not him.
Point of order, please.
Yes, point of order from Member Punyanija.
Yes, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, if you go to Standing Order 103, subclause 14.
Standing Order what?
103, subclause 14.
I can't hear that. Speak.
103. 103. 103. I am fasting. So, 14. The committee shall continue its investigation even though the assembly is adjourned, signed, die, and shall not be discharged unless by order of the assembly or on the dissolution of the assembly. The motion he is moving is in respect, whereas a bill or whatever is before a committee. But this one is an investigation. This motion is not necessary. As far as the investigation is before the committee, investigate until whenever you are done, you come to the plenary. Period. That's what the Standing Order says. Then
observation.
Then I was not here.
Order. Honorable member, please take your seat. Order. Honorable members, the point of order from the member for Nyanija can be valid. I'm not sure if it is at this time. Order, honorable members, please. Honorable members, you see, every one of you want to put up a point of order or motion, and if you want the speaker to rule on it. So if your colleague raises a point of order, allow time for it to be ruled on. It can be in order, but I'm not sure whether it is at this time because I've been informed that the special committee, the investigative committee, were given a timeline. That's what I want to confirm with my aides. If there was a timeline and it's elapsed, then they should come back to Parliament, either to accept its extension or not. So I'll come back to you and make a ruling on that. It is my understanding that it is my understanding that you cannot use your mic without request. No, put off your mic. It is my understanding that they were given a timeline of 3 months. Kosha, is that so?
Yes, we were given a timeline for 3 months. Yes.
Of
3 months.
And it has elapsed.
Yes.
Can I? So
Honorable Speaker, there is a motion on the table. Can we kindly second that?
So your point of order, as I said, it can be in line and it can be, it can't be. So under the circumstances, it is not in line because in fact their time has elapsed and they have not concluded. So it is it is up to the assembly to either accept or not, or to reject. Now we have a motion. I'm going to take any second. Yes, Honorable Member Kebalang Fofana.
Before the motion.
Honorable Speaker, before seconding the motion, as a member of the committee.
No. Second the motion first.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motion and equally crave your indulgence to give me just a minute for clarification. Is that possible? I've been raising my tag for more than 30 minutes. So, Honorable Speaker.
You know, there's a motion. Procedurally, we should vote first. But I'm not sure.
I want to debate on the motion.
Debate?
Yes. I can participate on it. It's a motion. No, Honorable Speaker. This is not a yes or no thing. People need to know why I'm seconding the motion. Not so. They need to know why I'm seconding it. I am not seconding the motion out of vacuum. I'm seconding it for a necessity. So that must be communicated.
No. No, honorable members, I am not going to open a debate.
Can I
motion.
participate on the motion then?
No. I will give you, because you say you wanted to make some clarification, I'll give you a minute. But no,
Honorable Speaker.
No.
Honorable Speaker.
No.
Honorable Speaker. Observation.
No, please,
Honorable
please,
Speaker.
Honorable Speaker,
Point of observation, please.
No, honorable members, please. I will allow Member Kebal and Fofonan to make a very, very short clarification as he put it.
No, I want to observe the proceedings.
No, wait.
No, I want to observe the proceedings.
Don't put on your mic. Don't put on your mic, please, sir.
You said you are allowing me.
No,
let us not set precedents, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
Do not set precedent.
Yes, you are observing the procedure. All right.
Honorable Speaker, let us not try to set precedents here. Once a motion is raised, it requires to be seconded. Once that is done, it should not be subjected to a question or whatsoever. What you should do now is to put the question to members either to adopt the motion or to reject it. And once that is done, because whatsoever clarification he wants to bring cannot change the motion that was posed by a member for Brikama South. He cannot change the motion. It is only the member who can raise on a particular motion or another motion to change his motion, as we did last year with the member for Central Body. But whatever clarification he is bringing or whatever statement he wants to make cannot change the motion that is under the floor now. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, can I proceed?
No, allow me to.
No, that was an observation. In fact,
yeah.
Honorable Speaker, wait. No.
Please take your seat.
No, that is not correct. I'm not. He's saying that he should be the one that should give me the floor. That's not correct. I'm observing proceedings, not him.
Honorable members, please order. Honorable members, you see, as I said earlier on, the reason why I said I never want to encourage members to open up to a debate, there is going to be member for Nyamina Dankunku, please order. Why I don't want to open up a debate, we will have for and against, and we are going to turn it to a debate, and which I don't want. Usually, once there's a motion and seconded, we vote on. And I said clearly, I will allow the nominated member Kebalang on a minute. But I naturally, I would have wanted one seconded, then I put up the question. That's what I wanted to do. But there are a lot of tasks. You see, once I said, nominated member Kebalang, I'll give you 1 minute. Central Body also said he also want to clarify. Another person also said he want to clarify. We are going to have a debate.
Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, please sit down. I'll give
no, but allow me. Now you are diluting what?
No, nominated Kebalang, I don't know why you are shouting. I've already told people I will give you a minute.
Then allow me to come.
No, when I finish administering the chamber, I'll allow you. Please put off your mic. I said it very clear. I want members to allow us to continue. I will allow nominated member Kebalang on a minute to make his point, and then we continue. Please, honorable members. Yes, nominated member Kebalang Fofana.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, for the records, you are not allowing me because the motion that was raised didn't say without debate. So I have the right to participate on the motion after seconding it. No, that should be clear. If I told the mover of the motion said, at the conclusion of raising the motion that it should be without debate, then I can ask for your leave, then you allow me. But what I'm doing right now is my constitutional right to speak on this motion. It is up to the other members when they are ready to debate or not. The only clarification I want to make is, as a member of the committee, all of us should apologize to the members. What was communicated, because when I was coming to the assembly today in the morning, over West Coast Radio, I heard that the joint committee was supposed to lay a report. When no report was done, no preliminary report was validated. So I think as an assembly, this assembly should be very careful as to the type and nature of information we send out there. We should be very, very careful. Right now, the entire country is waiting for a report. What we had inside was never a report. It was supposed to be a simple motion asking for an extension. So as a member of the committee, we are apologizing to the entire membership and the public to know that we've done a great work. There's much needed right now. All we want is more time to do it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
On the motion, now it's a motion, allow us to also comment. It's a motion now, allow.
Honorable Speaker, you put it to vote.
Order, honorable members, order. Order. Nominated member Kebalang Fofana. Thank you. I think it's on the order paper and it was on the agenda. And nominated member Kebalang Fofana said he had it on West Coast Radio. I'm not sure if he had received. Order, please. If he had seen the agenda which was circulated for about couple of weeks ago, and the other paper also, but nonetheless, it has been moved and seconded that this assembly grant extension to the joint committee of FPAC and PEG to complete their business and then report to Parliament next session. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Okay.
Those not in favor, please say no.
No.
The ayes have it.
No. Division.
Honorable members, there is division. Now let's vote on the request for extension. Those in favor of the extension, raise your hands. Those in favor of the extension, raise your hands. Honorable members, those against the extension, raise your hands. Those against the extension, raise your hands. Honorable members, those abstaining, raise your hands. Honorable members, the results are as follows. Ayes 27 votes, noes 4, abstention 1. Therefore, the request to extend has been accepted by this assembly, and they must report latest the next session. Clerk, we may proceed.
Laying of papers and reports. Reports of the Joint Committee of FPAC and Education, ICT and Training on the Students' Revolving Loan Scheme Bill 2024.
Co-chair, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Order. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table before this August Assembly the report of the Joint Committee of FPAC and Education, Training and ICT on the student order. Senator Badu. Honestly, I can hear. The man for Woodley East, the member for Woodley East, just making so much noise.
Your honorable member's order, please. And he's right. That region is very turbulent.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, thank you for bringing the member to order. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table before this August Assembly the report of the Joint Committee of FPAC and Education, Training and ICT on the Revolving Loan Scheme Bill 2025. That was tabled on the 24th of June 2024 during the ordinary session 2024. During the second reading of the bill on 15 July 2024, honorable members engaged in a debate on the principles and general merits of the bill. The bill was eventually read for the second time and referred to the Assembly Business Committee for committal to relevant committees as for Standing Order 68. The ABC subsequently committed the bill to the Joint Committee of FPAC and Education. In response to the committee held a meeting on the 20th of January 2025 to strategize and identify key stakeholders for scrutinizing the bill in line with the mandate of the Standing Order 69, which provides procedural framework for carrying out the task. During the meeting, the Joint Committee deemed it appropriate to invite the mover of the bill and his team as the first witnesses to present evidence on the bill. This accorded the honorable members the opportunity to address any concerns before engaging the other relevant stakeholders. Summary of the bill, that's on page 5. Access to quality and tertiary higher education is essential for national development and human capital growth. Unfortunately, many students in the Gambia face significant financial challenges that prevent them from furthering their education after completing secondary school. While the government of the Gambia, through the Ministry of Higher Education, provides scholarships to support students, the existing financial support mechanisms are insufficient to accommodate the growing number of aspiring students. To address this gap, the bill seeks to establish a sustainable student loan scheme that will broaden access to tertiary and higher education financing. I'm moving to page 7. And clause 1, this is the opinion of the committee. On the subtitle, the Joint Committee proposes this section stands part of the bill with amendment and now be read as this act may be cited as the Student Revolving Loan Scheme Bill 2025. On clause 2, interpretation, the Joint Committee proposes this section stands part of the bill without amendment. On part 2, which is the establishment of the Student Revolving Loan Scheme and its governing board, the Joint Committee proposes that part 2 from clauses 3 to 14 stands part of the bill with the following amendment. The first amendment is on clause 4, that's page 8. On the functions of the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, A, the scope of the scholarship should not be limited to tuition fees. It should also cover expenses like rent, transport, and textbooks, just in case you have somebody from Woodley that needs to pay rent somewhere around here. On clause 5, the board of the scheme, if you look at the board, it says on clause A, B, C, and D, it says representative of the ministries not to be the permanent secretary, but any official not below the level of the director. Meaning, it could be the permanent secretary, it could be the director, it could be the deputy permanent secretary. H, a recognized student body should be defined also, because it's actually shown in clause 5, but it's not actually defined. What exactly do you mean by a recognized student body or student union? Proposed additions. A representative of the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, NACA. 2, a representative from the National Association of Vocational and Skills Training Center, NAFSTI. 3, a rep from the public-private universities and TVET centers. And the 4th was a representative from the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. On clause 11. On clause 11, the committee is recommending the quorum of the board should be just a simple majority. On part 3, management and staff of the Students Revolving Loan Scheme. The Joint Committee proposes that part 3 from clause 15 to 16 stand part of the bill with the following amendments. On clause 15, the executive director, we want to add and deputy director to the title of clause 15. And on 1, the president shall appoint the executive director of the scheme after consultation with the board and the Public Service Commission. And there are additional proposals. A reads, the executive director shall hold formal qualifications in a relevant field or appropriate to the functions of the scheme. And B shall possess proven ability and experience in public administration. 4, the board shall appoint a deputy executive director. And 1, this director shall assist the executive director in the performance of his or her functions. And 2, the qualifications and experience of the deputy executive director shall be equivalent to that of the executive director. On part 4, clause 18, that is the funds of the scheme. The committee is recommending on D to delete the word research. Additional proposal F, a percentage of proceeds from the Anti-Corruption Commission. Number 2, replace approved by the board with at the central bank. General recommendation. Adequate guarantees should be considered before granting the loans. And number 2, provisions need to be made for possible instances of illness or death. And in conclusion, given the aforementioned observations and recommendations, the Joint Committee of FPAC and Education hereby submits this report for consideration and adoption by this August Assembly, and for the proposed recommendations to stand as part of the bill. I beg to move.
Any seconder? Member for Fonye Councillor.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby second the motion and want to just throw a few words into the bill. Honorable Speaker, the Student Revolving Loan Scheme is an important bill that will decongest some of these people, for example, who are less privileged in terms of scholarship. And also, if you look at the composition where TVET is also the center stage in this bill, will also iron out those who are not qualified to get the general scholarship. This loan scheme will also be another stepping stone for them. And if you look at the ministry's function as at now, TVET is a cornerstone in its reviving. So looking at this bill, if it is passed, will also help and also decongest the higher education ministry in terms of queuing and again applications. A lot of scholarships where it will only be given to the number of people. So with this bill, I think is in the right direction, and the ministry is in high gear. The flag of this ministry is flowing, and I think members of this August Assembly, I know on you, all of us, to see it flying continuously to change the narrative of educational status quo in this country. I therefore submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Joint Committee of FPAC and Education, ICT and Training on the Students Revolving Loan Scheme Bill 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who is to take part in the debate may do so by show of tag, beginning with the member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think the committee did a good job, despite the fact that this is a very important bill though, but by looking at the size of the report, one will tend to question what have they done. But going through it, there is a lot of substance in what they have done, and I want to commend them. I also want to commend the Minister of Higher Education, who is always present when issues of higher education are discussed in these hollow chambers. So thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Speaker and the mover for the motion, the report, I was going through the list of witnesses to try and see whom are the different stakeholders that you've met to discuss about this bill. I understand it is a student revolving loan scheme. It is sort of a financing mechanism, like let's say sort of a social protection sort of for students, aspiring students currently and future ones, whereas we'll have a revolving loan, whereas government, whereas you don't have scholarship from government, but you can have scholarship from the scheme that is going to be established, which will be more or less the same. I think this is an idea that comes from what we call the universal health coverage or the universal health plan, whereas access to health and other things can be financed by the state through a means. I think it is something which is commendable. But on the list of witnesses, I've seen you only concentrate on consulting officials. So I don't know whether you've gone far to consult probably students and even students unions, whom we know that these are the people whom we know that are going to be direct beneficiaries tomorrow, to see what they have to say about this thing. Because I think the focus should not be on the ministry and officials only, but the beneficiaries also have a role to play in these things. And then many a times, whereas we pass bills that have financial implications, implementation becomes a problem. When it comes to implementation, it becomes a problem. So I know I'm seeing here the Ministry of Finance and so even in the content of the bill, but what is their position as far as this bill is concerned? Because their buy-in is very important. It's very important. We need to have the money and we need to make sure that this scheme operationalized. I am speaking from experience. Currently we have some issues, but we all know what we face when it comes to health insurance. Yes, it's very difficult to allocate resources, and even if we allocate resources, it's very difficult to access it. So I think we should all learn from that and move on. And there should be commitment from all of us, especially the Ministry of Finance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member for Nyanija. I now give the floor to the member for Fonyi Bintankranai.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for giving me the floor. Looking at the students' revolving loan scheme, as we all know that the students in the Gambia, most of them struggle when going to the university, Gambia College, MDI and GTTI, tertiary institutions. And now, this is an opportunity for students that are poor to also access education like any other student. Because some of them have the admission, they have the qualification, they have whatever it takes. But then the main challenge is the finance. And now as a government, what commitment can we take? What is the commitment that we are taking? Is by supporting them with student revolving loan scheme. Because for the fact that it is revolving, then we can continue to use that money to pay for other students as well. And I also want to urge the government that the commitment they have taken, let them take it in full. That this is a very, very good initiative. But the implementation process, how are they going to implement it? Let them be active in it, because this is directly going to benefit the education system. And in benefiting the education system is how we can move forward as a nation. So this student revolving loan scheme are things that always we will welcome and always support. And we want initiative like this. Because I can tell you for free that most of the students that are outside there, most of them are struggling for scholarship. But if we initiate things like this, then no doubt that they will have access to education as they desired, as that is what will move the nation forward. Now, sometimes it's difficult when students have admission to the university or college or other institutions. It's difficult to know whom to turn to for support. But now if the government is coming up and taking up the commitment that we will support you and we will stand by you, at the end of the day, you can pay back, then we use that money again and pay another student. I think it is welcome and it is definitely agreeable, and I believe that all the members will agree onto this initiative. Because some of us, in fact, face similar challenges when we were going to the university, and in fact, when we are going to the college. If not the government paying for us, some of us will never have land. So imagine how many students down there who have the potentials, who have the intellect but are not given the opportunity. So it is a sad thing that most of the time people have all what it takes but are not given the opportunity like any other individual. Some of the people that are wealthy may not even have the intellect, may not even have the knowledge that is required, but because they have the financial capacity. So it's a way of encouraging the son of a fisherman, the son of a farmer, the son of the poor, the son of everybody. And even some of the people that are employed by the government, they cannot afford to pay for their children to go to the universities and the colleges. On that note, we welcome it, we support it, and we want the government to pay much attention to it in its implementation, and let us allocate funds as much as we can so that we support our brothers and sisters who want to learn in the country. Thank you.
Honorable members, you are reminded that this will last for not more than an hour, so you have been time. I think I am informed that it was 3 minutes in your previous one. 3 minutes, yes. So I'm just reminding the technicians to take note. I now give the floor to the member for Sabah Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I wish to also thank the committee for the job they have done as mandated by the National Assembly, and also to thank the Honorable Minister for Higher Education for joining us this afternoon. I think it's a very good thing that whenever we have reports laid before the Parliament, those ministers that, you know, where those reports fall, or the responsibility, or whatever you call them, to be present is very important. Honorable Speaker, I just have a question, a quick one to the chairman. I have seen that they want to replace something, a percentage of proceeds from the Anti-Corruption Commission, replace approved by the board with at the central bank. I'm not very much clear with that because I don't know, because if the anti-corruption bill or law states where exactly those proceeds should go, and you want to take them from that, I think that would require a great amendment. I don't know what can we do with that. I don't know whether you've checked that, because normally if there are proceeds from the anti-corruptions which are recovered through forfeiture or whatsoever, there must have been a clause which states where that funds should go. So if you want to get those funds, where exactly, which law will you rely on to get those funds, you know, to be here? That is the only clarification that I wanted from the chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Sabah Sanjal. I now invite the member for Upper Fuladu West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First of all, I think I would like to thank the Minister of Higher Education who is with us here. Minister, we thank you so much for your foresight and then for thinking out of the box, coming up with such a wonderful bill. I think this is what majority of the Gambians have been waiting for, because tertiary and quality education is a human right for each and every Gambian who wants to pursue education. So your ministry coming up with this bill, I think is very, very timely. If possible, the Parliament should even expedite the process so that the bill, you know, can start effect this year. Because there are a lot of, you know, students who got admission to university, and then because of these scholarship issues, you know, they could not start. And then as we speak, more than 2,000 students are on government scholarship, and government is doing a lot. So now coming up with this student revolving loan scheme, I think is very, very important. And then one component of this scheme, which makes it very, very important, that is the scope of this scholarship would not only be limited to tuition fees, but rent and transport, especially for students who are coming from rural Gambia. You know, most of our students who are coming from rural Gambia, when they come to Kombo here, they find it very difficult even to find a place to live. So if this student revolving loan scheme will also arrest that situation. So I think this is something that is very, very, very good. And then we are very, very grateful to the minister and his team for the good work that they have done and what they are doing. You know, and then secondly, we have to thank him so much, you know, for being in Parliament. When reports are before Parliament, that particular, how to call it, minister should be in presence so that
he or she can hear what members are saying. And then, you know, Gambia, majority of our people are living in abject poverty, especially those in rural Gambia. For them to go to university, some of them, they find it very difficult to get scholarship. So with this student revolving fund, I think it's timely. But my only question is that I have one concern. For example, like the guarantor, for example, if you guarantee someone to get this loan scheme, if the person who is going to university, he or she is supposed to die before completion of his or her education. Now, will the guarantor be liable for any payment? That's the question. Yeah, yes. That's the question I want to ask the chairman. Yes. Okay, the chairman. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mbitang. Thank you very much. I now invite the member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and thank you for the committee for giving us this, tabling this very important report. Undoubtedly, education should be a business for all of us, and as such, if this student revolving loan scheme is before us, I think every parliamentarian here should prioritize it so that, you know, we give our blessing to it. Yeah, because I believe this bill is coming to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich. In essence, the bill is trying to address that inequality in accessing quality education, higher education, to give opportunity to underprivileged citizens of this country to also have access to higher and quality education. I have an observation in clause 4. That's A. The scope of the scholarship should not be limited to tuition fees. It should also cover expenses like rent, transport, and textbooks. I want the chairman of the committee to tell me whether this decision is coming from the best practice of their observation of the best practice from other countries, because it may equally have some, you know, it may equally have it may equally have some problems. If you challenges, if you want to cover, if you want to put this thing all into this revolving scheme, because what our understanding of the scheme is, these schemes are revolving in essence, they are going to be paid off at some point by the students once they finish their educational careers. So if you want to put this all into this basket, it may have some challenges in future. Without that, I'm also trying to question whether the students that will be a beneficiary to this scheme will be employed immediately once they finish their educations, because that will also give them an opportunity to give back to what has been plunged into them, you know. So there are so many factors that need to be considered when we are looking at an essential bill.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now give the floor to the member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me also thank the Minister and the committee for a very good job on this one. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the important bills that come before us because it's affecting everybody. We are all parents after paying school fees for your children for 12 years. And then you want to continue up to university. College university has a lot of burden on parents. And from experience, we know that a lot of people have also been struggling to go to higher education, but because of the difficulties, they could not go. So, but let me go straight away to my observations. Honorable Speaker, I'm concerned about clause 4A. I think we should recommend that we make it optional. Because if we want to the scheme to take care of rent, like he said, the Busumbala member said, it may be another burden on the scheme. But if it is optional, maybe some people, they may have tuition fee, but maybe they don't have rent. And others may have rent, but they don't have tuition fee. So if we make it optional, I think it will become easier for the scheme as well. We all know, Honorable Speaker, let's go to interpretation. It's recommended that the clause stays without amendment, but in clause 5 of the report, we are told that they want certain things to be interpreted. I think we need to do that amendment, since we have recommended that it should not be changed, but inside you've made a change, so we should take care of that. I'm not so also, but I think it's a good practice what the committee has said, that the president consult the board as well as the PSC. I think that's a good practice that we should maintain. On the objectives, Honorable Speaker, on page 13, I want to observe and emphasize that the word differently abled, we are now moving away from that. We're maintaining what is in our Act, Act 2021, and that is persons with disabilities. I think we should maintain that. Also, I want to call on the minister to consider wherever they are building university or high school, let them put student quarters, because that's a very big burden on students. For students, like he said, people coming from URR and other places, since he has mentioned Woodley, I think I will emphasize that. People coming from Woodley to come all the way here, and they don't have places to, people to host them. But if there are quarters.
Thank you very much. I now invite the member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Let me also join colleagues to thank the chair and also the minister. The importance of the bill, people have spoken about that, and we've done that during the debate on the merits and principles. Honorable Speaker, I want to look at the witnesses who interacted with the committee. I've not seen any student representative. The witness, no student body. And I've not seen, it would have been very important to have the governing council of the very relevant institutions like the Gambia College. I've not seen any witness from the governing council of the Gambia College. If there is any for other tertiary institutions, I have not seen that. And parents, you know, do we think they are not to be consulted for this? Or is it going to be very cumbersome to have them? And why can't we be able to deal with that? To consult the parents, because every child comes from a home. So I think it's important to have them as witnesses, you know, when we are making such legislations. Please, Honorable for Serakunda Proper, wait for your time. Honorable Speaker, I want to look at the composition of the board as well. If you look at the composition of the board, why can't we be specific to say the president of the Student Union of the University of the Gambia? Is it not important to do that, to be part of the board, instead of opening it? Honorable Speaker, as well, the package, what it covers, the rent and all that, let us not be very overwhelmed. We are currently having issues with even the student transportation to the university. And there are monies that's supposed to be paid to the GTSC It was captured in the budget by the government through the students' bus service, and which are still pending to be paid. Let us not be very overwhelmed. Let's put the tuition fee, if possible, the learning materials, yes, then we can move on. Because the revolving is not going to start immediately we start disbursing. It's going to take time before the money starts revolving. So we have to be very careful as to what has...
Member for Ilyasa, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, let me first of all thank the Honorable Minister for Higher Education and the two committees for coming up with this very important bill. Honorable Speaker, it is true that education is very expensive, not only in the Gambia here, but throughout the world. Honorable Speaker, let me go straight to the summary of the bill, which read, access to quality tertiary education, higher education is essential for national development and the human capital growth. Unfortunately, many students in the Gambia face significant financial challenges that prevent them from furthering their education after completing secondary school. I think, Honorable Speaker, this bill came to address such challenges that we are facing. Definitely, this bill is very important, and it will go a long way to help students, especially the needy students who are unable to pay their university fee. So definitely this will help them a lot. Honorable Speaker, I think we have to thank the government of the Gambia for coming up with this very good initiative. At least this will help Gambian students to complete their higher education. Thank you very much for giving me the floor.
Thank you. I now invite the member for Opanyomi and Majority Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, let me also join my colleagues to thank the Chairman of the Education Committee and the entire committee members for doing this very good job on behalf of the plenary, and also to recognize the presence of the Minister here present, and I will also urge other honorable ministers, when things have been tabled before this plenary concerned to their sectors, they should endeavor to attend and witness what is happening here. Honorable Speaker, after saying that, I just have some few questions for the mover of the motion. He said the key benefits: interest-free loan to increase access to quality education. You went to say that funding sources, you said public-private partnership. Honorable member, I don't think when you make this thing interest-free, I don't say that you give that exuberant, interest, but like if you make it totally interest-free, I don't think this scheme will live long. At least we have to come up with something, at least quantum merit, something reasonable, as an interest to attract to it. But like when you want to make it completely interest-free, I don't see sustainability aspect of it in the future. And the other thing is, you cannot entice the private sector without them, having benefits. You can't do that. They will not come. What are you going to put in place to entice them? There must be something in place to entice them. So these are the key things I want you to answer, tell us and explain. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Member for Jara West, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also use this opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister and the committee. Student Revolving Loan Scheme Bill. It's a very good bill, and then as we did during the second reading, where we debated the merits and the demerits of the bill. Honorable Speaker, I want to commend the Joint Committee, especially on Clause 4. Like they said, the scope of the scholarship should not be limited to tuition fee. It should also cover expenses like rent, transport, and textbooks. As the previous speaker said, for housing or rent, I think that one we should make it optional. But there are other materials like textbooks. These are very, very important, which need to be considered. And on Clause 5, I just have a question there. Clause 5, you propose additional. And that's the last one. A representative of Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation to be part of the board. I want to be enlightened. Why do you say Social Security? Why do you add them there? Is it because of housing or is it because of financing? I would want to know. Why do you add them there? And in your general recommendation again, board 1 and 2, adequate guarantees should be considered before granting the loans. 2, provisions need to be made for possible instance of illness and or death. I want to know, as a committee, have you come up, I know the regulations will come up with this, but as a committee, have you come up with modalities, suggestions by yourself, by the committee? Have you come up with something that need to be the guarantee or provisions needed for possible instance of illness and death? I think to help the ministry in making their regulations, you should have also come up with something, suggest something for us, and then we see how will that fit here. These are my observations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Member for Talinding Kunjang. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think the committee, the Joint Committee did a wonderful job. It's on. Honorable Speaker, I want to take the committee to Clause 11, where they mention meetings of the board. Chair, are you with me? Yes, the quorum is indicated, but then usually how many times should the board meet? At least in normal practice, you say once in every 3 months or once in a month. The minimum is normally stated. And I have not seen it, whether I skip it or not. And also in subsection, clause 15, subsection 4, and before that, the president shall appoint the executive director in consultation with the public service. But the board also, I think when the board is appointing the deputy director, they should also consult the public service, because this is the person who is going to act instead of the executive director. So if the president is consulting the public service, the board also, even though they have the prerogative, but they should do it in consultation with the public service. That's my opinion. I don't think that I don't know whether you will agree with me. Yes. So, Honorable Speaker, this is a laudable initiative, and we all have to support it. But I want to inquire: is this fund going to run parallel with the scholarship package already existing? I want you to furnish me with that. But I think Gambians also should appreciate it. I'm not being pessimistic, but I have fear with regards to the way we handle government fund. People say government money is nobody's money. And there are times in history when government gives policy to people, bond them, they never come back. And now that we are into this, there must be stringent measures to avoid people abusing it, and then we cannot, because I have seen it in the general recommendations, that there's strong oversight to prevent prevention and corruption. This is crucial, because sometimes we abuse the system, and at the end of the day, we spoil, destroy everything what we are trying to make. Flexible repayment terms after graduation. And I want to add that there must be a grace period. Because to graduate is one thing, to have job opportunities is another. The fund should consider a grace period when people graduate before they acquire a job to be able to fund these things. And I think those are the few areas I want to intervene, and I thank the committee for this wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now invite the member for Banjul North. He is out. The member for Tumanna.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think I will join my colleagues to thank the Honorable Minister here with us, and equally thank all the members of the committee for their dedication. As a member of the committee, I think we don't have much to say here unless to try and convince all the other members of this August House to please support this laudable initiative from the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. Honorable Speaker, I think for us people who are from the rural Gambia, this is here to help us a lot. As we all know, most of our students become dropout as a result of lack of place to stay to continue their education. If this scheme is here to help us in that regard, I think it is very, very important, especially the clause that is talking about the functions of the scheme, the functions of the student revolving loan, which says that the scope of the scholarship should not be limited to tuition fee. This point, I definitely welcome this, and some people are arguing that it should be optional, but as far as I'm concerned, the rent aspect should be part and parcel of it, because that will help people, students from the rural Gambia, so that they can have a place to live, to study, a comfortable place to live and study and complete their educational career. Honorable Speaker, with that few remarks, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now call upon the mover to wind up the debate and respond to issues raised.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, honorable members. Just a few questions. First is with the member from Nyanija. He is saying that the reports look very small, and I think the report is 15 pages, but the bill is actually 13 pages. So I'm not too sure exactly what he expected us to do, to write a dossier about this thing. So what we were looking for is quality, not voluminous. So, and I think that's why we just take the most important thing and put that on the report. Thank you. Now, on this second question about the students, which is raised also by others, yes, we did invite the students, unions, but unfortunately, those from the UTE were not able to come. I think they were traveling at the time. Then we instructed the committee clerk to ask them to bring a position paper. And in fact, I met one of them last week, and he even asked for my email. But until the time of presenting the report, we are yet to receive any position paper from the students. That's to also answer other questions. And the member for Sabasanjal mentioned about this suggestion of 5% from the anti-corruption proceeds. Yes, if you look at the Constitution, Section 150, subsection 1, it tells you that all the revenues of government that's raised must go into the country revenue fund. But then subsection 2 is saying, notwithstanding 1, the parliament by law can direct a particular amount of money to be given to a particular fund that is created by them. And we are creating the fund. So which means this 5% from this we are suggesting actually is in line with the Constitution. So there's no issue with that. Now, just like we have with the education levy, which is going on right now, you know, and then we also have this ECOWAS levy, etc. Now, the member for Upper Flood also talks about the funding, which is fine, because if you look at the scholarships that the government actually has been giving out, that we approve here in the parliament, for the past 5 years, it's almost 499 million, approximately, 499 million. Now, if you add the supplementary appropriation of 2021, when we approve another extra 100 million plus, 134 million, then government here, we have approved more than 600 million for the past 5 years on scholarship for students. But generally, this is still insufficient. And that's why we think there are students that we left behind. So by creating this fund, which they can actually apply for a loan and to be able to pay, and then they repay once they finish schooling and once they secure a job and they start to repay. That will go concurrently with the current arrangement of the scholarships. The member for Busumbala also was talking about the scope, like the rent, the textbooks and stuff. Yes, in fact, we were looking at good practice. If you look at other countries, yes, they have tuition and they also have maintenance. And maintenance here, rent is actually inclusive and other incidental expenses. So yes, we do know that we must not be very restrictive. But again, this is something that's optional. A student may apply for only a tuition. Somebody may apply for tuition and rent, for example. So these are just optional. They can apply for whatever they want. That's our idea. Now, in terms of also the employment guarantee, I'm not too sure if the government will be able to guarantee any employment to anyone as we speak right now. Again, the TVET would also qualify. Now, with TVET, point of order. Point of order. Anyway, now let's remember that this is not only restricted to only university education or college, but the TVET also are inclusive. So somebody goes to TVET, you graduate and you are able to employ yourself and also create employment for others. I'm not too sure how government was going to employ you. So this is really a general thing to support, the tertiary and higher education. So the guarantee of employment may be a bit, maybe too far for now. Now the one for Wuli is also, I think, it's the same thing. The rent, etc., I think it's optional. It's not like they have to have it. So, but if you want it, you take it. If you don't want it, then you leave it. And I'm sure administratively, once this board is set up, I'm sure they're going to look at all those issues, but we don't want to go too much into the administrative aspect of what the fund managers would do. And the Kiang West, also, I think I've answered the question about the students. They've done that. Now, if you always look at the report also, the Gambia College was there, the UTG was there, USAID was there in the report. They all came. And they, in fact, gave excellent feedback on these things. The student unit, what I'm saying, we invited them. But unfortunately, I know of UTG, they travel at the time. But even when they came, the committee clerk made a floor. In fact, I met one of them, just to repeat what I said earlier, and we asked for a position paper. But until today, this morning, we are yet to receive a position paper from the students. So that's what it is. Now, the member for Ilyasa says it's a good initiative. He's a member of the committee, which is fine. And the member for Oponyomi and the chief whip, he's talking about interest. But I think the member for Kiang has spoken on my behalf. This is not a fund that is meant to be profitable. That's why they call it revolving. Parliament is key in ensuring that we give this fund money every year, like we have done for 2025. We've already approved 40 million to start the fund. So we just have to remember in budget that we've started with 40 million, so we need to add more to that to ensure that we get everybody to get to school so they can learn a trade, or etc., etc. So the fund is not meant to make profit, and that's the reason why we don't go into this interest and stuff like that. However, that is the prerogative of the fund managers, where they think they need to do, but that's why the committee was not actually involved. But I suspect they will not do that, but that's again up to them. Now for Talending, the quorum of the meeting essentially is just about the majority of the members, essentially. Yeah, that one's there. Now, how many times they should meet, that should be on regulation. Because you don't want to put that in laws. Normally, regulation would do that. Like the regulation, like quorum is this, number of meetings once every quarter, twice every quarter, that's part of the regulation. Yeah. And then also the issue of, you mentioned the issue of also, bonding, which could be an issue now. Yes, the Deputy Executive Director. Yes, I think that's a good suggestion. Like the Deputy Executive Director, when the board is doing the appointment, they can consult with the PSC. I think that's normal. Yeah, I think that's good. And also the payment of the fees also is normally when they start working. It's not like you graduate and then you start to pay. You need to start earning income before you are actually asked to start paying. And member for Tumana also, he welcomes the idea and also the various options. And I think I've covered most of the question, unless I missed something. Yes, I forgot one. Yes, the last part from Talending, yes, they go together. In fact, this is a special fund is created. The open scholarship is going to continue the way it is. So we need to also be able to fund both, just to ensure that we have enough for the younger generation. Because again, this fund, for me, the way I see it, we are trying to build the future of this country. And to do that, this fund is very important, and we must ensure that we give more money for the open scholarship, and we must give more money for this particular fund also, so that we can build the future of this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member, for that response to the debate. Honorable members, Jarvis, what's the problem?
Speaker.
Honorable members.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I missed his question. The member for Yara West. If you allow me, I can respond to him. Yes, he was asking about the issue of Social Security being represented on the board. It's just because of Social Security now, they manage one of the biggest funds in this country. And with experience and with capacity, we think they should be able to make a difference in this particular board. And that's the only rationale why we think their presence on the board, also from coming from outside. Because if you look at the majority of the board, is directly government employees like permanent secretary and stuff. So we have somebody from outside who has a lot of experience in fund management. I think it can make a big difference in them when they're on the board. Thank you.
Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Joint Committee on FPAC and Education, ICT and Training Committee on the Students Revolving Loan Scheme 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, before we proceed, it has come to our notice that sometimes we need to adjust on our dress code as members of parliament when it comes to the chambers. And as per our code of conduct on 18, I'm going to invoke that, so that when members come to parliament, they must be dressed either on business or tradition. If you want to put up a long sleeve, you must put on a necktie and tie it up if you don't have a coat. If not, if you don't want to tie a necktie, you must have a coat on top of your shirt and come to parliament or have time. So we are going to invoke that on the 18th. Immediately, from tomorrow onward, members must come to this chamber and with dress appropriately. That's my instruction. Clerk, we may proceed.
Report of the Joint Committee on Environment and Defense and Security on the Early Warning and Response Mechanism Bill 2024 by the Honorable Chairperson of the Committee.
Yes, it will be tabled by the Deputy Chairman of the Standing Committee on Defense and Security.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to present to this Assembly the report of the Joint Committee on Defense and Security and Environment, Sustainable Development, and NGO Affairs on the National Early Warning and Response Mechanism Bill 2024. Honorable Speaker, I will read the acknowledgement, then from there I will go to the findings of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the Joint Committee expresses appreciation to the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the National Assembly for providing the necessary support and logistics which enable them to carry our exhaustive consultation with the relevant stakeholders to deliver a report as stipulated by Standing Orders 66-2A. The committee is impressed by the diligence of all the stakeholders invited and the subject matter specialists who demonstrated professionalism in their presentation and recommendation to enrich the bill in both content and form. Honorable Speaker, I would jump the introduction, then the mandate, methodology, and then go to page 5 of the report, that is findings. You have scrutiny, consideration, findings, and recommendation. 1. On the object and reason of the bill. Opinion of the committee on the object and reason. It is proposed that the object and reason as presented by the mover during the second reading be adopted to stand as part of the bill in the consideration stage. Then part 1, preliminary, that's subtitle. The committee proposes that this section stand as part of the bill with amendment and now read as follows. The Act may be cited as the National Assembly Early Warning and Response Mechanism 2025. National Early Warning. Then interpretation, that is 2. The committee proposes that the section stand as part of the bill with the following amendment. 1. Act means National Early Warning and Response Mechanism 2025. Then 2, there is a proposed amendment that the word crime under the definition of human and security pillars should be replaced with the word safety and security. Thus, the definition shall now read as follows: include governance and human right, safety and security, environment and health. Honorable Speaker, then we go to clause 5 of the report, that is function of the center. The committee proposes that the section stand as part of the bill with the following amendment. 1. The word disseminate be included as part of the function specified under subsection 5A, because after collecting data, the essence is to communicate that data to general public or stakeholders it is intended for. Then, Honorable Speaker, part 3, also the committee have some amendment, that is the establishment of the board. No, the establishment of the board of the center. I think is to read the establishment of the board. The committee proposes that this section stands as part of the bill with the following amendment. 1. Considering the relationship between food and security and crisis to national security, the committee proposes to include the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, as part of the board. Then 2, additionally, the Office of the National Security should be put part of the board as they have a stake on the day-to-day activities of early warning. Then I think on clause 7, we did not have any amendment on clause 7. Then clause 8. that is function of the board. The committee proposes that the section stands as part of the bill with the following recommendation. A new section should be created to explain the function of the board chairperson. Then we go to clause 10, where the committee have an amendment. The committee proposes that this section stands as part of the bill with the following amendment. It is suggested that the drafter should explain the meaning of simple majority under subsection 5. Then the secretary to the board, the committee proposes that this section stands as part of the bill with the following amendment. 1, that the numbering of the subclauses of this section should be amended to start from A to D. Then 2, because the Director General is the Secretary of the Board, as specified under section 6, 2I, the second subsection of this section, originally 11F, should be amended to ensure that the Director General, as the board of the Secretary, consult only with the chairperson of the board. Then part 4, the committee have an amendment there too, that is appointment of the Director General of the Center. The chairperson, the committee proposes that this section stand as part of the bill with the following amendment. It is considered abnormally for the qualification of the Director General as specified under section 14(3)(c) to include 15 years of work experience, while the qualification of a chairperson of the board as specified under section 7(2)(d) is 10 years. The committee recommends that the qualification of a board chairperson be 15 years of work experience, while the director is to be 10 years work experience. Then under 18, the committee also have some amendment there, that is submission of report. The committee proposes that this section stand as part of the bill with the following amendment. 1, that the board should refer all reports of the National Security Council, NSS in bracket, for review before submission to the early warning directorate of the community commission. Honorable Speaker, then on the same amendment, that the daily situation report of the mechanism of the national, I think it's the National Early Warning Mechanism Center, to be submitted to ONS, mean the Office of National Security, under the Security Information and Operation Center, for better coordination of security and crisis response. Honorable Speaker, on conclusion, on recommendation and conclusion. Honorable Speaker, aside from clause by clause recommendation, a technical working group, as proposed by the National Environment Agency, should be proposed by the bill, which shall comprise of all vital institutions at the enforcement level, not at policy level, who can directly advise the board on all issues essential to the center. The TWG, that is the technical working group, shall be specified advisory in nature. Conclusion, Given the above mentioned observation and recommendation, the Joint Committee on Defense and Security and Environment, Sustainable Development and NGO Affairs hereby submit this report for consideration and adoption by this August Assembly and for the proposed recommendation to stand as part of the bill. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Member for Nyanija.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion ably presented by the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankung. Honorable Speaker, this is a very good report, and then it follows all the due process with very good recommendation. This shows that the tax that was given to the Joint Committee was definitely done accordingly. But I just have a little observation. Honorable Speaker, if you go to our standing orders, trying to make some cross-references, standing order 69, committee stage of the bill, you go to sub-clause 4, yes, sub-clause 4, sub-clause 4B, record the opinion of each clauses and schedule of the bill together with amendment recommended there to present it in order in which it stands for. That's not the relevant one, but...
Honorable Member, we cannot hear you. You are murmuring.
Yes. I mean, if you go to standing order 69, clause 69, committee stage of the bill. And in the report, I saw the Joint Committee making recommendations for the objects and reasons to be presented by the mover during the second reading to be adopted. That's why my problem lies, Honorable Speaker. The opinion of the committee should be on the relevant clauses of the bill.
My worry is the mover of the motion, he's been distracted by Latikunda Sabeji, and the member for Nyanija is making very valuable contribution. You cannot do that, member for Nyanija, member for Nyamina Dankunku and Latikunda Sabeji. Latikunda Sabeji, can you migrate back to your seat, please? But you can ask your colleague Sane Mentreng or Talini Kujan to help you. You are lost. Please, member for Nyanija, can you repeat that? Co-chair, please pay attention to his concern that instead of the bill, you are recommending for amendment to the object and reasons. That's what.
Honorable Speaker, my point is, if you look at the report of the Joint Committee proceedings on number 1 on the object and reason, the committee is making an opinion there. And I think that is definitely not proper as per the standing orders. Opinions should be on each of the clauses of the bill. The objects and reasons are just explanatory memorandum to inform members during our debates on the second reading and so on. So I think that part of the report should be omitted. Aside from that, I definitely agree with any other part, and I thank you.
Honourable members, please take note. It has been moved and seconded that this Honourable Assembly do consider the report of the Joint Committee on Defense and Security and the Environment on the Early Warning and Response Mechanism Bill 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate may do so by show of hands. And beginning with the member for Joshua.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, maybe I'll put it to you, I'll ask if possible, maybe you can help me. This is a bill that was being discussed between two committees, and then The owner of the bill, I haven't seen any one of them here. I don't know whether they are around or not, because it's important they should be here to at least see what we are doing and know what we are saying. Is any one of them here? The owner of the bill? Yeah, good. So I don't know where they come from. So it's important that we put it across that they are here, so that they hear what we are saying.
Thank you. Honorable members, you remember I made a ruling here, I think last year, that whenever we are discussing committees affecting institutions or departments, they must be present. And not only for they are present, but people who can take decision. You cannot, for instance, send in officials who are probably below the rank of a director or the head of those institutions. But nonetheless, I am told that they are here, but we find out who are those there in respect to their responsibilities in the various institutions. But the office of the clerk must take note. Honorable member, please continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Just on the recommendations made by the committee on the issue of the technical working group, I know it's a suggestion by one of the members, or the invitees, but I think it's very key for it to be factored in the bill, because having the technical working group is there to advise when there are issues, different from people that are part of the board. So I think it's going to be very, very key for us to put it in the bill before it's been enacted. It's very key. That's my only suggestion on that. Thank you.
Thank you, member for Joshua. I now invite the member for Sani Mentoring.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, I'll have to thank the committee members for coming up with this important report, and which I think it's very, very important that it needs to be considered by the honorable members of this General Assembly. And I have few observations that I've made with regards to the report, which one of them is being treated by the member of Nyanija. But notwithstanding, there is another observation that I've looked at, and which is on page 7. Looking at page 7 on the 11, clause 11, which is secretary of the board, and on 2 of page 7, where in the second, because of the Director General is the secretary of the board, as specified under section 6, subclause 2(1), the second subsection of the section, originally 11F, should be amended to ensure that the Director General, as the board secretary, consult only the chairperson of the board. I just need to be clear why he or she has to consult only the board. Thank you very much. On that note, I beg to stake my seat. Thank you.
Thank you. Member for Ponye Councillor, you have the floor. May I now call upon the mover of the motion to wind up the debate and
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Respond to issues.
I would start. I will start with the Honorable Member for Sani Mentoring. You see, that one, the way it is captured in the
Honorable Speaker,
in the bill,
my tag was raised.
It looked
please.
like the secretary.
Honorable Speaker, I'm talking to you. You are leaning like if you are the boss of this house. My tag was raised.
For him to be consulting the board, but not himself. Yeah. Then on Joshua.
No, if you want to interrupt the house, so be it. If you insist to interrupt the house, then interrupt it. My tag was raised for debate, please. Huh? I was not seen. Okay, then remove your spectacle, please.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well, my task is very easy because I have only 3 members of parliament who make an intervention. Then I would start with Nyanija. I think there is nothing wrong with what the committee did. It is, I believe it is in line, because even the report that was just presented from the member for Upper Salum, I think the same thing also been captured there. I think there is nothing wrong with that one. Then on those one also, actually taking the position of the
committee to have the technical working group to be part of the act. So these are the few questions I received from members. On that note, I thank all members of parliament who contributed and who did not contribute to this important report. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, thank you. Meanwhile, I wait for Fatu to put the questions. And just be reminded that I have informed the Sergeant at Arms to ensure that effective tomorrow, and that of course, the majority leader and the minority leader to engage members of parliament so that effective tomorrow they are dressed appropriately in accordance with our code of conduct before they come to the chambers. We have members of the early warning officials here, of course. We have the head of analyst and we have Binta Jenabalde from Governance and Human Rights Analyst, National Early Warning. Abdullah Turi and Binta, yeah. The early warning is being represented here, but not at the level of the director. Honorable members, I want to thank the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku for responding to those issues and all other honorable members who participated in the debate and those that gave it a clean bill of health by way of nodding their heads. Now, honorable members, be it resolved that this honorable assembly do adopt the report of the Joint Committee on Environment and Defense and Security on the Early Warning and Response Mechanism Bill 2024. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Order, honorable members, order, please. Honorable members, order. Take your seat. Honorable members, be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Tuesday, 18 March 2025 at 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stand adjourned until Tuesday, 18th March 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.